Hey, friends, welcome back to the Coop Chicks in Charge podcast. I'm Melina Putnam, the CEO of Chicks in Charge and Yay Dude, a media and marketing company. And wow, it's 2024. I'm so happy for the new year. And that means we're kicking off a new series here in the Coop, and it's unlocking our highest potential. So I'm all about personal and professional growth, as you guys know, and that's what we do at Chicks in Charge. And that topic was really based on this book. I read it at the end of last year. So for all of you on YouTube, you can see it here, Hidden Potential: The Science of Achieving Greater Things by Adam Grant, who's the author of Think Again. Loved that book. Highly recommend that as well. And so today we're kicking off our Unlock series with Kimberly Jarman, one of our boss chicks who is a mental performance coach. Welcome to the Coop.
Hi, I'm so excited to be here.
Yeah. So today I was like, what are we going to unlock today? Like, there's so many topics that we could unlock together. And you and I love our deep dive conversations. And so, of course, had to narrow the field a little bit today. And so we're going to talk about unlocking our relationship to goals, since it's the beginning of the year. Whether or not people believe in New Year's resolutions, I think it's so important to have goals in life. And so let's dive right into that, Kimberly. Like, what do you think? What is the right approach to our goal setting? And then what do you think people get wrong? Because it's all about achieving greater things this year. So let's set ourselves up for success.
Yeah, for sure. So we all have goals, whether we like set out to say like I have a goal or like New Year's resolutions or whatever, like because goals are desires. Right? Like we desire something, we desire an outcome, we desire a result. Where we get it wrong is that we set these goals, that's what we'll call them, right? From a place of need. I need to lose weight. I need to make this amount of money, or I should, right? What that does is it sets up the relationship from like an unhealthy codependent place. So let's just for a moment step out of goals and we think about like relationships. Like think about being in a relationship with someone that's like needy, right? And like they're just like always texting you, always like, where are you at? What are you doing? Like want to spend like all their hours with you, and like that relationship doesn't feel good, right? And we don't want to spend time in it. We avoid it. Like we try to hide from it, like, oh, I'm not responding to that text. And that's when we set goals from a place of need and should, we're setting up codependent relationships that are unhealthy. We don't want to spend time with our goals. We avoid those goals, right? We procrastinate around them. We kind of quietly quit on them. Versus when we set goals from a place of desire, just because we want it, we desire it. Think about, again, the relationship scenario, like someone that you've really desired before. You want to spend time with them. You want to have conversations with them. You want to go do adventurous, fun things. You want to try things, right? You want to experiment. You want to like learn new things together. You want to be with them all the time. When we set goals from that place of desire, that's the relationship we set up with that goal. It's a healthy relationship. We want to be with it. We want to spend time with it. We want to try things.
Yeah, I love that. So you're saying that basically a lot of our approach has been maybe a toxic one, where it's like we feel like we should, maybe we don't want to at all, but we feel like we should. And so we're setting ourselves up for failure because there's no intrinsic motivation to it if it's not a desire. Is that right?
It's like based on like when we set up these like I need to lose the weight, that's the easiest one, right? Or I need to make this money, right? Like the relationship with the goal is set on this foundation of I'm not enough.
Yeah.
Right. And this goal is going to mean something about me. So it already sets up a relationship that's built on pressure and shame. Right. Because it's like, well, I'm not enough. When I hit that 6 figures, then I'll be successful. Then I'll be enough. Right. So I've already entered into this relationship with I'm behind. I have to have this to be worthy and enough. So then we're playing behind the eight ball the entire time we're going after this goal. And we've entered into a kind of a negative feedback loop in terms of our brain chemicals, right? Because it's like this codependency, like if this goal can do this for me, then I'll feel loved, then I'll feel supported, then I'll feel beautiful, then I'll feel enough. And we're never going to give ourselves the dopamine hits on the process of getting to that goal, because we have to have the results to validate us. So that's why our brain then moves into this place of like, this is hard. This is a lot of work, right? We think about the motivational triad, which is seek pleasure, avoid pain and suffering, and utilize as little energy as possible. And when we're playing from behind, that our brain is like, this is too much work. This isn't enjoyable. Like, let's stop doing this. And it's going to then, we're going to see every day, this isn't happening fast enough. This isn't working, right? This isn't going to happen. So we're feeding that loop versus when we set goals from desire, right? And we want to, and not what it's going to mean about us. What ends up happening then is because we desire it, we want to spend time in it, and this is just something from want. It's much easier for us to see the wins than the daily wins. And we have to direct our brain to go look for the daily wins. Because remember, it's wired, it does not want to change. It wants to keep doing the same thing. So we have to wire it like, look at the win I had today, go find it, brain. So then we can intentionally create a dopamine hit for us. And when we get that dopamine hit, it feeds desire, and desire feeds motivation. So then
Oh,
we
I love that. I love that. Here, let's slow down on that. Desire feeds motivation.
And motivation feeds action, right?
Oh, I love it.
So
Yeah.
then when we show up every day because we're intentionally looking for the wins, I get a dopamine hit, feeds my desire, feeds my motivation. I take action, and I'm training my brain to see the success, to see the wins. So then I feel successful on my way to getting whatever result I want.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So I'm loving this hashtag see the success.
Yeah.
Yeah. And making ourselves look for the win every day. So being intentional, because yeah, you're right. There's so many goals. And aren't we guilty of our goals are too vague? So when you use the example of, I need to lose weight, well, what does that mean? And what do you have to do to get there? So first identifying, well, and is that really even a desire?
Right. Like, it need is never a desire. Like, because my question for my clients is like, well, why do we need this?
Yeah.
Right? Like, getting deeper, like we got to go deeper. Like, why do I need to lose weight? Like, do you actually need to? Is this life or death? Well, no, but I know if like I weigh 140 pounds and I'll feel better in my body. Well, why will you feel better in your body?
Yeah.
It's like you're chasing an emotion. That's
Okay, so to keep asking yourself
yeah.
and then ask again until you get to the root of why that is. And so and maybe when you get to it, you're like, oh, I guess I really didn't want that after all, or I
Yeah.
didn't need that after all. Same thing with like an arbitrary number of, oh, I feel like my business will be successful if I hit XYZ dollars, right? The same thing would apply. Do you
Yeah.
really need that? Or, what would feel good for you? What would feel okay, so let's back up on that then, Kim, because maybe there are some listeners out there that are like, well, I don't know what my desires are. So how do we discover what our true desires are?
I think a lot of it is like self-awareness and then just honesty with ourselves.
Okay.
Right? Like, so this year, my goal was to book 24 speaking engagements. Okay. It's not because if I book these 24 speaking engagements, I am then going to be like successful, or it means that I'm in demand, right? Like, I don't make it mean anything about me as a business owner. It's just because I want to connect with people. I want to share what I have learned with other people. I desire to teach people what I've learned because it's changed my life.
Yeah.
Do you see
That's
how
good.
clean that is? Like in my coaching world, we talk about clean versus dirty. Like it just comes from a very clean place because it's not what it's going to make it mean about me as a human.
Yeah. Well, and is it true that it's more about the journey than the outcome? And so if we are enjoying the journey and not even I don't even know if enjoy is the right word because it's still hard work. I mean, we're putting ourselves out there every day. We're doing that. But if it does come from what you're saying, a clean place, that is a desire that you have for connection. So that's your why. And so you're connecting your why to, yes, the outcome at the end, you hope that that's 24, but you're not going to wait until you book the 24 to feel good about it. You're feeling good about it every day, not even when you get the yes, but when you just ask for it. That's why
Yes.
I've given myself a challenge of like, ask something every day that's going to get me closer to that. So if I'm asking someone to come to an event or if asking someone to be a speaker or asking for, publicity or whatever that thing is, then I should feel good just that, wow, I've done it. Like I've done the ask and I'm not attaching my happiness to the outcome of it, that it has to be a yes. And
Right.
that's hard. That is a hard mindset shift for us to do.
Yeah, and I mean what you just pointed out is that you're training your brain look for the wins.
Yeah.
It's not going to. We have a 70% not negativity bias. Our brain by default wants to look and see how is it not working? How is it
Mhm.
taking too long? Because what it wants us to do is sit on the couch and not change behaviors because what we're currently doing, we are surviving and that is good enough for our brain.
Yeah.
Right. And so I want to pull us back just a minute. Like we've been in self-development long enough to know like people that like the goals, like let's say your goal was like to lose 15 pounds this year, right? Or to hit a certain revenue number in your business. You and I both know that we will hit that. We'll lose the 15 pounds or we'll hit that revenue goal. And like for science or research shows that the neurochemical like hits that we get, dopamine from achieving something, last about 20 minutes. So at the end of that hour, like we've hit that goal, got on the scale, got off. The end of that hour, my brain is already going to go to, well, we just need to lose another 10. Right? We've
Yeah.
all been there, right? We
Yeah.
hit the goal because it's going to mean something about us. Like, and we just know, like, when we hit it, like, I'm going to be happy. I'm going to feel sexy. I'm going to feel successful. And at the end of the hour, we're like, oh, I'm
Yeah.
back to feeling like I was. Now the goalpost is going to move again to the next goal. And so we see these high achievers, goalpost, goalpost,
Right.
goalpost.
So it's getting ourselves off of that kind of vicious cycle of what's next, what's next, what's next then. And not to say we're not going to continue, we are going to continue achieving things and all that. But
Yeah.
to take your example of the 15 pounds, instead of me thinking, oh, once I get that award, I hit that achievement, then I'm going to be happy. Instead, being happy every day, looking at the wins of like, for example, because I am doing that. Like, but my goal for by the time we go to She Shine Scottsdale in April, which is my birthday, so I'm going to be 52, like I do want to be back fit where I was pre-pandemic. And so, but what I am celebrating is every day that I go work out, every day that I move my body, I'm like, yes, you did it, Melina. And I feel great. So every time I sweat, I'm like, yes, you sweat today. You detoxed. You are honoring your body and moving. And and I do get that, all those rewards that we get from working out and moving our body, the mental health and the physical, and hopefully my cholesterol is going to be better next time I get checked and all that good stuff. So I love this philosophy, Kimberly, of seeking, okay, what did we say? Hashtag see the success.
Mm-hmm.
See the success in the everyday, those daily wins. I love that.
I
Okay.
want to point out that you didn't do it from like, I'm not a big like toxic positivity mindset person, right? Like fake it till you make it. I know our brains are way too smart to buy into that. So I'm not into that. But I want to point out that's not what you're doing. Like, yes, you want to, I guess, weigh a certain amount by the time you go to Scottsdale. But what I hear you say about your goal is like, I just want to be healthier. I want to take care of my body, and I want to take care of this vessel that I walk this earth in. And I'm investing in it every day to get it a little bit closer to being as healthy as it can be. And
Yeah.
you can see from that perspective, this is going to be a lifelong, it's going to be a lifestyle for you. It's not about like how much calories should I cut? How much water should I drink? How many minutes of exercise? Then I'm going to go get on the scale. Did I lose an ounce today?
Yeah.
Like that's when we are in that type of mindset, that's because we have created a goal from need and codependency, because this goal is going to mean something about me. You created this goal, it sounds like, from a very clean place of, I desire to make this vessel as healthy as possible.
Yeah.
And you know what? If I hit the goal by Scottsdale, fantastic. But if I don't, fantastic, because I'm still on this journey to make it as healthy as possible, regardless of the arbitrary timeline that I set for it.
Right. Well, and it's interesting because it's not, I don't even have a number in mind. I hate weighing myself because I do have obsessive tendencies, and like I don't want to ruminate on that. And I don't want that to make me feel like if I only lost a pound this week or whatever, that I quote unquote failed. So I'm like, well, don't even tempt yourself then. Like, don't even get on the scale. So I more base it on honestly just what I see, how I feel in my clothes. Like you can tell, right? I mean, you can tell, I can tell my mental health, how I'm feeling. You can tell how you fit in your clothes. And after several weeks of steady, disciplined work, I'm already seeing results. And so like that's what it's all about, is that I'm just putting the work in every day. And I think that's what you're telling us is, if that comes from a clean place and you're doing the work and not out of need, not out of some toxic thing, then we are more likely to achieve the greater things that we want in life.
Yeah, when we set a goal from desire, again, compare it to relationships. When you're in a relationship, when you desire this person, you want to see it every day. You want to spend time and do things with it every day. You enjoy being around it. I
Yeah.
don't like, if I have a goal that's toxic and I don't like, it's going to mean something, I have to get the result to mean something, like you're going to find yourself procrastinating. And you're going to find yourself like avoiding, and you're going to find yourself dreading, and like it's now never fast enough, and it just becomes this like dreadful process.
Like a grind.
Yep.
Yeah, no one wants to do it if it's a grind. Okay, so let's talk about you then, Kimberly.
Okay.
When we're talking about unlocking your hidden potential, what do you feel like that works the best for you? How do you do that? How do you feel like you personally achieve your highest potential?
I'm going to get kind of sciencey on this because that's how my brain's works. Right?
That's
I
okay.
just like, it just was an aha moment in December for me, because I'm coming off of 2 years of struggling with COVID, long haulers. And I think for me, like I was reading this book and thinking about like potential, like really potential is being able to expand and grow.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So I thought from a neuroscience perspective, how are we able to access that part of our brain to expand and grow? First, we have to feel safe. Safety versus survival, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so many of us walk around in survival brain, right? So we have to be able to move to a place of safety where we feel safe in the world and we still feel safe in us, and then move to neurochemical balancing. So making sure that my brain has the balanced serotonin, dopamine, and stuff. And then from there, mindset.
Yeah.
Right. And then massive action. Like that for me is the steps, and like how for a human to reach their full potential.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. That's amazing. So will you share with us, Kimberly, what is a big, you say desire instead of goal, but so what is that big desire that you have this year? You shared with us the 24 speaking gigs.
Mm-hmm.
Is there another one that is good for you this year?
Desire this year, 24 speaking gigs. I want to be seen more this year because I want to empower women to break the rules that we live by, whether they were society's rules or our rules, right? And to do that, like I have to get out and get the message out, right? Like this is not just about mindset. This is not just about like grinding our way there, right? It's like as women, I want to level the playing field for us because men, from a neurochemical standpoint, are pretty balanced. They're just like
Mhm.
this while we're up and down. And I want to level the playing field for us through educating women. Like, this is how we reach our full potential so
Yeah.
we can become part of the 1%.
Oh, I love that so much. And I love what you do. And thank you so much for sharing all this information with us today. I want to end with, because I'm also inviting in some of our speakers from She Shines, and I want to do this with every talk that we do this year because every woman has a shine story. And what makes you shine, Kimberly?
That's a good question. What makes me shine? Can you like give an example? Like, what do you mean specifically?
Well, you shine through your work, obviously, but I'm like, what really lights you up so that you're so lit up? You said you're sharing your message with others. Are there any other specific things that really help you to shine your light?
I always have to go back to my why, right?
Mhm.
Like, my why is like, I was one of those women, like, that just, I knew I had more potential. I was sitting in that 8 to 5 office and my soul was slowly dying. And I was like, man, I know I have some more potential. If somebody could help me get out of my own way,
Mm,
right? Like, I just need help getting out of my own way. And when I found coaching and they gave me the tools to like help me and like get out of my own way, I just knew that like if I can figure this out, I'll spend my life helping women figure out how to get out of their own way because women are who is going to change the trajectory of this world.
yeah. Oh, that is so good. And it's interesting that you talk about coaching in there too, is because that is a part of the first part of the book where he says, you are going to unleash your hidden potential with the help of guides and coaches and good advice. And I love the diagram that he has in there of like the three circles of, are they credible? Do they care about you? And are they familiar with you? Because if there's that beautiful little sweet spot in the middle, that if that person can do those things, then they're going to be a really good guide for you. Whereas other people are very probably well intentioned, that maybe they know us and they care for us, but they're not credible, or they're credible, but they really don't care about our goals. And so I love that finding a good coach, like what you are, can really help people to yeah, like you said, unblock. There's so much blocked energy that women carry, and then removing that plus figuring out the neurochemical stuff, like it is not an easy fix. And so it takes time, it takes investment, it takes heck, even if you just believe in yourself enough to just make that first call, or that for, because that's hard. And that's what we talk about. He's talking about in this book too, about just getting comfortable with discomfort. Because I mean, wouldn't you say, I mean, just because we have a desire doesn't mean that it's going to be comfortable to get there. It's going to be really uncomfortable sometimes and awkward. And, the first time we do things is super awkward. And so I love that the message that we have here today is like, you deserve to go for your desires, invest in yourself, make yourself a priority this year, because unlocking your potential means that we're going to have to do some deep work to
Yeah.
get there.
Yeah.
Right?
I like this term. I found it a long time ago in coaching world, like bet on yourself. And like that's when I'm faced with like a big investment or some decision, right? Like I go to like, I can either bet on me with this money to make this investment, or I can bet on the stock market. And I don't have a lot of faith in the stock market, as much money as I've lost. So it's like, I'm going to bet on me.
Mm-hmm.
My brain is always going to produce an ROI, always, right? I don't know when, but it will always produce an ROI. And I think I also want to challenge like, yes, changing does take time, but it doesn't have to take as much time as we think it does, right? And like that's why
Mm-hmm.
like I'm all about optimization. And that's why I do test our women's neurochemicals and hormones. Like I don't want it to take a lot of time. Like if we can hack this, like why wouldn't we hack this? Like why wouldn't we
Yes.
self-development and get there faster. Like, we're not guaranteed a full lifetime.
Yeah.
That's not today. So like if I can hack it and make this faster and you can get your results faster, heck yeah.
Yeah. I love that. And it reminds me, like, our lives are a melting ice cube.
Oh yes.
Like it's not gonna you're not gonna suddenly get more time. I mean, it's we all know where we're headed. And yeah, tomorrow is not a given. So invest in yourself today. I love see the success in every day. Count your daily wins. Such good advice today, Kimberly. And for all of you who are new to the Coop and what the heck is Chicks in Charge, we are a women's leadership and social club based here in Oklahoma. And the cool thing is that we are reaching out through the podcast, through our blog, through our website, through all the work that our boss chicks do to share their why and helping others to achieve greater things this year. One of the ways we're doing that is we're having a conference in Scottsdale, Arizona in April. So if you're listening to this and it's before April 11th, then I would encourage you to get your ticket. I'm going to put that in show notes so that, and then I would encourage you to follow Kimberly. I'm going to put her information there. And that's what we're about, is helping women to shine their light and serve others in the best way that kind of we were made for.
Yeah.
And it's a beautiful journey, I think.
Can I just like celebrate Chicks in Charge? I haven't been in Chicks for even like I joined I think May of last year, so I haven't been in a full year yet. And as a coach, like we're taught like you go network. That's how you build your coaching business, right? And I'm on year 3. Chicks has been, I think a lifesaver is a little dramatic. It has been a soul saver.
Oh my gosh. I love that, Kimberly.
It has been a place where I felt like I belong, I am wanted, I am accepted, I am included. And I have not found that space in all the networking events outside of Chicks that I've ever been in. And I've been in a lot, right? This is just, Melina has created this amazing community of high level women that are inclusive. They want to learn, they want to cheer for you and grow. And it is just, it's the most amazing space. So if you haven't found a space that you have landed in, Chicks is just fantastic. And I am forever grateful for this community and for Melina.
Thank you so much, Kimberly. We are so grateful for you. And if you guys are listening to this and you're anywhere around the country, first of all, I hope that you do seek a network, seek coaching, seek a network of positive, high level, it's women who believe in lifting other people up. And that isn't found everywhere, unfortunately. And sometimes when I get out of our little bubble, sometimes I see that and I'm like, oh, that's not what I'm used to. I'm used to what we have created here in Chicks, which does feel I feel those same things that you have felt in it. And so thank you so much for sharing that testimonial. And you guys, we believe in having fun too. And so and that's a great way that we got to know each other better, was we had what I call Chicks in the Sticks, because you guys know I'm in branding and I come up with all kinds of names for things. I will just name and nickname anything. So Chicks in the Sticks, where we actually got to go out and have true fun together, putting our phones away. And we went to a lake, and then we went to the woods in November and talked about our year, and we're really vulnerable with each other. And it was just a great bonding experience. So I thank you for being a part of that and making Chicks even better. So I appreciate that so much. All right. Well, we will be back again soon with another Unlock episode. And so until then, go do great things and take care of yourselves. Bye.
Bye.